Hi, guys. Welcome. This is your bite-sized nugget. These are ideas that aren't quite a podcast, but need to be said. It is early morning, pouring rain. I don't know if you can hear it. And I'm in my, if you ever see me recording, if you're watching this on YouTube, in my Spartan race hoodie that I cut the hood off, know that I'm in my pajamas. This is my house sweatshirt. It never leaves the house. It's my version of my house robe. Okay. So last podcast, at the beginning of the podcast, I read a mom's email about, how she feels so sort of downtrodden that meals are such an issue, and that for generations, kids, we've fed our kids. And I really do believe it's because we've backburnered food, right? We've made meals the last thing. It's not of utter importance. And I think historically food has always been of importance, right? Like it's our fuel. And I always I feel like over the last year with building the village, making hard choices, I've done a lot of podcasts on this idea of how to pare down our lives or make hard choices. Like, what shit sandwich do you want to eat? Make these really hard choices that make our lives so much easier and make our lives not exhausting, make it create a life that we don't need a vacation from, right? I love that quote. And so a lot of, I've done a lot of content about that because I really think that's the crux of it. Everybody's trying to do everything at once and it's not working out. We have seasons of life where we have to make harder decisions. And what's interesting is I've been really pulling for parents who work outside the home, right? Because I know because of the economy, a lot of parents both have to work. And if you're single, I know there's a lot of single parents out there, me being one of them. And I'm not discounting single, stay-at-home parents, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads. You have a job. Yes. And the job that a stay-at-home parent does is the job that has to be done as well, right? Like the keeping of the home. And one of the things, so anyway, I'm not discounting the stay-at-home parents by any stretch, but I feel like everybody's exhausted by the end of the day, and that needs to stop. And so, because it's beyond regular parental exhaustion that has always existed because the 0 to 6 years are so physically needy. That will always be. Yes, that is the hardest part of parenting. I think the most physically demanding, and you have to treat yourself like an athlete. This is running a freaking marathon every day with a lot of sprints thrown in between. And so to treat yourself anything but an athlete, I think is ridiculous because it is so demanding. And so that means nutrition, good sleep, not being overstimulated yourself, right? These things that we've been talking about. And so anyway, I called my cousin. My cousin is one of the few moms I know who is completely parenting without social media. And I have been trying to get in touch with more parents who don't have social media because I'm trying to ascertain if they feel the same level of burnout. I will maintain that a huge amount of overstimulation and burnout is because you're on your freaking phone. And I know this because it's true for me. And I see it in so many of the clients I work with. And so I was trying to gauge, I was like, hey, I just want to talk to you, what level, let's talk about burnout. Not that she would know because she's only in that one camp. And she was like, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do social media. Already just my 3 girls are in sports and the group chats are driving me crazy. I would love to put my phone down. I would love to just have a landline. So it's interesting talking to her. But then she said something, and she said it with such love. And I don't know that I've heard anybody say this. I don't know that I've heard anybody ever say this. And she said, my kids are my job. This is what I do. My children are my job. And she didn't say it with any sort of bitterness. It was just a fact. And I was like, holy fuck. Yeah. Our kids are our job. And that so is keeping a home. Keeping a home running is a freaking job. Okay. And again, love it. If there can be a stay-at-home parent, obviously that works great. Somebody has to buy the next size clothes. Somebody has to change the sheets. Somebody has to keep the rugs clean. Somebody has to wash the floors. Somebody has to wash the ceiling fan, the baseboards, organize the garage. And whether it's mom or dad, it has to get done, right? That is a job. That's an adult job, whether you have kids or not. Keeping a home is still at least a part-time job, if not a full-time job, right? And so I think we're looking at this wrong. I think particularly, again, if you both work outside the home, this, to me, it just sort of puts another point of validation, I guess, that particularly if you both work outside the home or you're single, you don't have the luxury of having like a lot of activities. You don't have the luxury of like a wide circle of friends right now, along with girls' day out and the dad golfs or vice versa, whatever. And the kids doing all these extra things. You cannot do it. You have another job. So when you work your job and you come home and you're exhausted from your job, you have another job. That's waiting for you at home. It's keeping home. It's making dinner. It's feeding the children. It's connecting with your kids. And I feel like, and I could be wrong here, so feel free to, give me some feedback on this, but I feel like what's happening is we've all forgotten that. We've forgotten that. And we're like, we kind of give our home and our family like the last reserves, right? And I understand it sucks. It sucks because a lot of you have high pressure jobs and you do have to give 100% and it's exhausting. But I just want to reframe this because I feel like if we look at it like, holy shit, I have another job, how would you approach that? Because for me, I'm very pragmatic and I would approach that. And I even have, like, after my cousin said that to me, I was like, right. And I am really good at my job. And my job takes a lot of my time, but I tend to look at household things like they're not like, I'll just do them when I have time. No, bitch, you got to do that now. It has to get done. And so, and I can tell you in my own personal life. So one of the things is I've been redoing my kitchen and it's so tiny that I have to like kind of do it piecemeal because I just can't live without like everything being available. And I want it painted so I can do some videos for you guys about like cooking, right? And I want a cute kitchen because I have this like, it's already so tiny. And I want it to look cute. I want it to be aesthetically pleasing, even though I don't have the home that you see on Instagram with like the big beige and gray homes. I don't have that. And so, but it's always last on my list because I'm tired because I've worked all day and I've cooked and I've, and I was like, that's not how you treat a business. That's not how you treat a job. And I know that. So I started treating my home like it's a job and not again, like, oh my God, I have to go to my job, but like a job that I know how to do. I know how to set goals. I know how to schedule and program and do things. And I was like, it's made a world of difference. Just this week alone, I finished painting my kitchen. I have washable rugs. I got them all washed. It's a pain in the ass because my house is so tiny, I can only have the washer and dryer. That's like the small one that stacks on top of each other. And so my washable rugs are too big. So I have to take them to the laundromat and I love them. Like every time I wash them, they bounce back. I have the ruggable kind, love them. But they're a pain in the ass. I got to move all the furniture, which again, I have a tiny house. It's just all the furniture stacked on top of each other. I have to put Maverick in daycare because he's a menace. And so it's like a big deal. But I was like, it has to get done and it has to get done before winter where it's just going to get muddy again, but whatever. And so anyway, I'm so pleased, like this small mental shift of like, I have a job to do. So instead of us feeling like, oh my God, I have to make dinner. No, dinner's part of my job. How can I schedule this? How can I make this easier so that this runs like a smooth machine? And I know for both parents who are working, you guys are probably freaking excellent at your job. I bet you all have managerial skills. I bet you bring leadership skills to all your jobs, and then it falls apart when you get home. You have leadership skills. If you are in charge of employees, guess what? You can go home and keep boundaries with your kids because you do it at work, right? And so it's almost a reframe. And again, I don't mean this to sound arduous. I don't mean this to sound like tiresome, like I have another job to, it is another job though, right? Like it shouldn't feel irksome. It should feel like, wait a minute, I know how to do this. And so I encourage you to step into that reframe. Again, if it's helpful, if it feels like it's just going to choke you, I would hope not. I hope your family and your home and your children don't feel like they're going to choke you. But I feel like we're getting ourselves in our own emotional quagmire by being so like kind of forgetting about it, right? Like that's the end of the day. And I'm not, again, this like whole notion that I keep hearing from so many people. I don't want to take time on the weekend to do that when I'm like, when the frick are you going to do it? Right. And so anyway, see how that lands for you. Like treating your family and your home like a job you love, but a job that still takes time, scheduling, goal setting, deadlines, these things that apply to work that we put into work. Let's apply them to our family because I don't know, for me, it's rejuvenating. I'm like, right, this isn't something that I should just squeeze in between my actual job and my physical activity and the things I enjoy, which right now is like hiking a lot of hours a week. And and then I'm leaving my home and food and my family for the piecemeal shit. Like, what is that? That's not cool. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. And as usual, if it's not, throw it away. But I really think that I'm feeling it's been like a little thing under, like a splinter under my skin, kind of irritating me and bugging me, not irritating, like it's irritating my skin, is like, what is happening that everybody is so tired that they can't attend to their kids' boundaries. That's a huge one. Boundaries with picky eating, boundaries at night, boundaries with bedtime, because literally every one of my clients is like, I'm too tired. I can't. I just give in. I give in because I can't handle it. Behind on housework, behind on scheduling, behind on things, but again, unwilling to take the time. And I also just think that we don't have the like, all right, I got to get this done. I got to get this done by 7:00. And I don't know, it's been really helpful for me. So, all right, that's all for today. Bye.